Hello everyone, how are you today? I am Michaela Valletta, also known as the Body Scientist. And in case you're unfamiliar with me, I have a background in exercise and sports science and nutrition science, particularly sports nutrition, but all types of holistic nutrition. And I'm live on my IG page right now. I will save this in I will download it and save it to my YouTube page. So if you're on Instagram and you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to follow me there as well. If you're on YouTube, you don't follow me on IG, be sure to follow me on IG. So today, I want to talk about butter, okay? If you follow my work, you know that I love to talk about fats, okay? And I'm really into traditional foods, okay? So my whole approach to nutrition and health, I believe in ancestral traditions that have been shown to work over generations, okay? And I believe in foods that are time tested, not these new commercial food industry frankenfoods, okay? So, you know, butter is actually one of the best fats that we can consume, all right? Darn it, I'm losing my light. It was so sunny in here, now it's dark. Whatever. Anyhow, butter is one of the best fats that we can consume. So there are different types of fats, right? And I'll often hear a lot of people say, oh, I cook with olive oil. And they'll say that as if like that's this wonderful thing. And olive oil is good, but olive oil doesn't have essential fats that we need. Olive oil is mostly a monounsaturated fat. There's also saturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. And saturated fats are the most important, okay? And it's what I love to talk about the most. I'm very much into the chemistry of fats, all right? And I have other videos where I talk more about that. I will try to post them below on my YouTube, below this YouTube video. But I have other videos all about fat. And the videos where I talk about my skin mixtures, I go through the chemistry of the fats a lot. Because every single fat, whether it's butter, olive oil, avocado oil, palm oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, they're all made up of different types of fatty acids that have different properties, okay? And so butter is a food that you find, sorry, I'm like messing up what I'm saying. Butter is a food that you find, a fat that you find used all around the world, okay? And when you're getting butter from grass-fed cows, because when I talk about nutrition, whether it's animal foods or plant foods, I'm always talking about getting foods from local farms, local sources, not from the commercial food industry, okay? Whether it's a plant food or an animal food, food from the commercial food industry is tainted and toxic, okay? It doesn't have the same nutritional value. I often hear vegans, you know, who don't eat animal foods say, well, the animals aren't the same as they were back then. Well, the plants in the soil ain't the same neither. The water ain't the same neither, but we still need water, don't we? We can't get all of our nutrients from plant foods, okay? I consistently say that. Now, the thing about, you know, our brain is mostly made of saturated fat and long-chain saturated fat, which only occurs in animal foods. Our hormones are made from cholesterol. Cholesterol only come from animal foods. So in order to even make vitamin D, which is also a hormone, you need cholesterol, okay? Even if you're making vitamin D from the sun, you need cholesterol in your diet, in your blood, to make vitamin D. So to get on to the point about butter, what makes butter so great, okay, grass-fed butter, I'm going to show you one that I have. You know, now you're starting to find better quality butter in stores in the U.S., like Kerrygold butter. You could find Kerrygold butter at Walmart, and Walmart is not a place I would normally go shopping. I don't go shopping at like regular supermarkets, but all of the regular supermarkets in America have Kerrygold butter, and I don't have any right now. I'll probably post a picture on my IG page. I love Kerrygold butter. It's an Irish butter. Of course, it's not local, but it is a good quality. This I got from Whole Foods. This is a pasture-raised butter. I get unsalted or salted, made by Vital Farms. I also get their eggs. Vital Farms, girls on grass, raised with respect, fresh air and sunshine, freedom to graze under open-air skies on American family farms. So this is good because this is made in the U.S. It's local, right? Anyhow, there's a lot of butter like this. You want to get grass-fed butter, pasture-raised butter, which means that the cows were outside getting sun, getting fresh air, eating grass. Cows are only supposed to eat grass. When they do, their butter is way more nutritious than the butter from the commercial food industry, okay? So, with that being said, just know that I'm talking about butter from the farm, not from the commercial food industry. So that butter is very high in the fat-soluble vitamins, which you can easily remember because it's the last half of my name. Vitamins K, E, D, and A. Those are the fat-soluble vitamins, okay? Which means that you need fat to absorb them. Vitamins A and D only occur in animal foods, and vitamin K2 only occurs in animal foods. And they all work together, okay? Vitamin A and D definitely work together. You don't want to have them separate. You don't want to take a vitamin D pill. You want vitamin D and A together. They work together. And vitamin K also plays a role in that metabolism, okay? So in grass-fed butter, you have all those fat-soluble vitamins, which is super important for your hormones, for your thyroid function, all of that. It also is high in CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid, which is a fatty acid that helps to burn fat and build muscle. It's also an anti-cancer fat, and it helps to detoxify, okay? Which is why in my skin mixtures, I also put ghee, okay? Ghee is a clarified butter in which the proteins from the butter are removed, which is the whey and the casein is removed, and I have ghee right here. This is some ghee that I got from the farm, Amish market in Chicago. You see this ghee? Ghee has a very high smoke point, like 480 something. So ghee is a very good fat to fry things in and cook things at a high temperature. It won't burn, like butter will burn. But when you remove the proteins, it doesn't burn as much. So ghee is a very good, very stable fat to cook with at high temperatures. And my dad actually fried some French fries in ghee, and I thought it wasn't going to taste good, but it was delicious. Indian people and Ethiopians use ghee a lot. They also put it on their skin and in their hair, which I also put it on my skin and my hair, but I mix it with other fats. You can find this ghee. This is another ghee that I get from Whole Foods, but you want to make sure you're getting a good quality ghee, okay? No added chemicals or artificial flavors. This just says certified organic buttermilk, okay? Now, ghee and butter is also very high in butyric acid. Butyric acid helps to heal the gut, okay? It feeds the good bacteria in our digestive tract, which you always hear me talk about, maintaining your microbiome, maintain that good bacteria. Ghee is produced by the good bacteria, but it also feeds and supports the good bacteria in our gut. I mean, not ghee, sorry, butyric acid, which is in ghee and butter. Feeds the good bacteria in our gut and nourishes them, but the good bacteria also produce ghee. So if you're trying to heal your gut health and your intestinal health, you really want to consume ghee and butter. Butter is also, Butter is also high in arachidonic acid, which is critical for neurological function. Okay, it's another fatty acid that's really important for neurological function. Butter is high in lecithin, okay, which helps us to use cholesterol properly. And cholesterol is not bad, okay? We cannot consume enough cholesterol. I did a video called All About Fats like 10 years ago where I talked about that, but I'm going to do a video soon about why cholesterol is an antioxidant, okay? Just remember that cholesterol is an antioxidant. Cholesterol is not bad for you unless it is oxidized cholesterol, and you only find that in protein powders and powdered milk. That's why you don't want to consume low-fat milk and skim milk, because in those milks they use some powdered milk in it, which has oxidized cholesterol, and that cholesterol is not good. Okay. Also, you need fat to digest proteins. You always want whole. When you consume dairy products, you want it to have all the fat. Okay. And I'm a consumer of raw milk. I have videos where I talk about raw milk. Okay, which is again not the same milk that you're getting from the supermarket that's homogenized and pasteurized and comes from the commercial food industry. That milk does bother a lot of people. Not raw milk. Okay. I have been drinking raw milk since 2005 or 4. I have had many clients and friends that have consumed raw milk, never seen anybody have a problem with it. I'm not going to get into it in this video because this video is not about that, but you can check out my videos on raw milk. Butter also has sphingolipids, which helps us to digest, okay? It helps our digestion. And it's a terrific source of trace minerals, okay? And such as iodine, which we need iodine for our thyroid, okay? Butter is really good, a good source of iodine and vitamin A. And iodine and vitamin A work together to support our thyroid, which when your thyroid is jacked up, a lot of times you're storing a lot of extra body fat. You know, you don't understand why you can't lose weight, you can't lose fat. Consuming a lot of butter actually helps you burn fat, okay? Because of the CLA fats in it, conjugated linoleic acid, which helps you burn fat and build muscle. Look it up, okay? And then the iodine and vitamin A helps to support the thyroid, okay? Vitamin A also is really important for building muscle as well. And when you have a lot of protein and no fat, it depletes your vitamin A, and that causes a lot of issues, all right? This is why we don't want to eat lean meats. You want to have you want to have fat with your protein. So when you eat meat, you know there's a reason why there's fat around the meat, okay? You cook the meat in fat. You want fat. Butter, if you eat a lot of butter, it also will help you, it'll cause you to crave less carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is what causes people to get fat, okay? So when people are like so afraid, oh my God, if I eat ice cream and I eat butter, I'm going to get fat. It's not the fat in butter and stuff like that that makes people fat, okay? There's a whole chemistry, there's a whole biochemical pathways, okay, that are very well understood. That's not what makes you fat. But eating a lot of sugar and carbohydrates does. Fat gives things flavor, and we all know everything tastes better with butter, right? And so when you consume that, you crave carbohydrates a lot less. I have a video about sugar craving. So people who crave carbohydrates, a lot of times they have an imbalance of bacteria in their gut. Okay, you fix that by taking probiotics and eating fermented foods. And again, I said that the fat in butter and ghee, butyric acid, feeds that good bacteria and helps support them. Okay, but when people remove fat from things, they add more sugar because fat gives things flavor. So you're consuming low-fat yogurt, frozen yogurt, it's not going to taste good. So they put more sugar in it to try to make up for the flavor loss of the fat, okay? Which then causes you to store fat. Sugar makes you fat, okay? Not natural animal fats. Okay, they're not the problem. I suggest you go on YouTube and type in the cholesterol myth. And you will find a bunch of videos with doctors and scientists who are talking about the myth that saturated fat and cholesterol are bad for you, and that in fact we can't get enough of it. Saturated fat is needed for our brain function, for our heart uses saturated fat as a fuel, our lungs need saturated fat, our skin, every cell in our body is utilizing cholesterol and saturated fat, okay? So, you know what, there's a book that I have that I should have brought called Nourishing Fats, Why We Need Animal Fats, and it's written by a woman named Sally Fallon. I will write it below. I posted on my Instagram page, but I highly recommend checking that book out. And there are others. And so butter's also high. It has a lot of stearic acid in it, which helps to repair damaged skin. It helps to keep the skin supple and the hair soft. It's also in tallow, okay, which is beef fat. Stearic acid is also in tallow. So again, I told you Ethiopians and Indian people use ghee on their skin and their hair. Butter also has a lot of palmitic acid, which also occurs in palm oil, which helps with the barrier function of our skin. And I talk about this in the video. I have a video where I talk about the skin mixtures that I make. I go into the chemistry of the fats in that video as well, and I will post that below my YouTube video. You can find all this on my YouTube page. So, yeah, and so if you're really intolerant of butter, which happens if you have an allergy to the proteins in butter, which is the casein in the whey, if you use ghee, it will solve that issue because it is removed. And I think that's all I want to say about butter, okay? Consuming the imitation butter, that I can't believe it's not butter, the plant-based fake butter is not good. Okay, I'm not going to get into a long scientific lecture about that right now, and I could, but they're made from rancid plant oils, okay, that are polyunsaturated, highly unstable, do not have the iodine that I mentioned, the vitamin A, D, E, and K that I mentioned. They might put fake stuff in there, the artificial forms, but not naturally occurring. It doesn't have the lecithin. It doesn't have the sphingolipids. It doesn't have, oh, I forgot to say, butter also has omega-3 fats. None of that is in the so-called plant-based imitation butter, which is just a bunch of chemical processed crap from the commercial food industry. Nature doesn't give us plant-based butter. Okay? So let's just be real. I deal with real foods. I deal with traditional foods that have been shown to work over generations. The commercial food industry has done a lot to brainwash people to get you to buy their products. Oh, don't eat butter, but you can eat these 10 plant-based butters we have that's supposed to be healthier, but it's not. So if you don't believe me, check the books that I post on my Instagram page. I often, show books in my videos that I recommend that you look at. But butter tastes great. You can't have enough of it. Okay, I'm always looking for more and more reasons to consume more butter, and I get grass-fed butter. All right, from cows who were eating grass that weren't injected with antibiotics and hormones. Butter, butter, butter. You need it for your brain. It makes you happy. It gives you very important fat-soluble nutrients that we are lacking in. Almost everybody I know is vitamin D deficient. Okay, so do the research yourself. If you learned something in this video, if you liked it, please like it, please share it. Please follow me on YouTube at TheBodyScientist81 and follow me on IG at _body_scientist. I hope you all learned something. I hope you have a great day. And if you have any comments, please feel free to share, and I will talk to you later. Bye.